Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The snow is tapering off, but that dangerous cold we've been talking about is just settling in. From St. Charles to the Metro East, we have a team of reporters covering this winter storm. Let's begin with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell and the Weather First forecast. Scott.
Well, we've been tracking this system all week long, and the first thing I want to do right now is get you out to Chesterfield because we can see the highway here and the traffic on the highway. It is moving along around the St. Louis area, but slower than average because our temperature is now down to 2 degrees officially in St. Louis. Pretty big drop from the 38 where we were earlier. Warrenton's already down to 3 below, 4 below in Columbia. As you go north and west of St. Louis, it's below zero already. Metro area, we're heading there in the next 2 to 3 hours, but it feels like it is 20 to 30 degrees below zero. 25 below zero for a wind chill in Chesterfield, 28 below in Rolla. These are dangerously cold wind chills. In addition to that, we're still blowing around some of the snow, especially over the open areas east of St. Louis, out along Interstate 64, maybe out along Interstate 70 as well. But the snow is letting up in these areas now, and that trend will continue as we push through the evening hours. The accumulating snow, that's pressing away. The big focus now is going to be shifting back to the wind and the cold, and that combination makes it very dangerous late tonight and into tomorrow morning. That's why the wind chill warning is in effect for the area. Winds will continue to gust 35 to 45 miles per hour through the overnight into tomorrow morning. Some blowing snow this evening, but again, we're pretty much done with the snowfall for the metro area and to the west, and not much additional off to the east. Highest amounts have been 1 to 2 inches. Again, as we said, not expecting this to be a big snow deal. It's about the bitter cold, the wind chills that go with that. And overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, wind chills are 25 to 35 degrees below zero. That is dangerously cold. Now, there will be some sunshine that breaks through the clouds heading into tomorrow afternoon, and we're expecting temperatures to get back above zero, but it will still feel like it's below zero all day tomorrow into tomorrow night. Saturday will slowly begin a bit of a warming trend. Dangerously cold wind chills, that's a big concern, Ann.
Scott, thank you. Road crews have been ready to respond to the storm for days, and they worked around the clock to try and keep things clear.
5 on your side's Paula Vassan has been at MoDOT headquarters in Town and Country all day, and she's live tonight with the latest on how that agency is responding. Paula.
Well, right now the snow is letting up and the worst of that snow is over. But here at MoDOT's headquarters, this room has been busy and they will continue to be busy in this room. They're looking at these monitors, looking at where accidents are and figuring out how to deploy resources. MoDOT officials are urging drivers to stay off the road, giving their crews time and space. Crews are racing to get the job done as temps drop. Weather officials say tonight and early tomorrow we'll see wind chill dipping for far below zero. In fact, weather officials say we haven't seen wind chills this low in the area during this time of year in about 30 years.
We are expecting wind chill values, kind of what it feels like to your skin, to be about 30 degrees below zero by this evening into early tomorrow morning. So I've heard some folks mention, oh, we're going to go sledding and enjoy the snow. This is not the kind of snow to do that in. It's going to be very, very cold. Frostbite could set in 15 to 30 minutes. So please, please, please just stay inside, stay in warm, and stay in the heat.
And MoDOT officials tell me they are going to be continuing to work here throughout the night. They're going to be continuing looking at those monitors behind me, continuing to work to keep you safe. Live at MoDOT's headquarters, I'm Paula Vassan, 5 on your side.
Our team coverage continues now in St. Charles, where road crews have also been out all day.
Right now, the wind continues to cause issues for drivers on Interstate 70. Our Justina Cornell joins us live near the Blanchette Bridge along I-70. And Justina, how's it looking out there?
Yeah, Mike, so we've seen the visibility improve right now. We've been seeing random gusts of winds come through, and so really swirling that snow around. But really, it's just extremely cold out here. When we first got here at 9:30 in the morning, it was 35 degrees. Well, we just checked, it is 1 degree. Yes, 1 degree. And those numbers continuously drop over the last couple of hours dramatically. And this is really impacting road crews who are working hard because they want to make sure roads don't freeze up. Now, that's according to a supervisor at St. Charles Public Works. He tells me crews have been working since 6:30 this morning, bright and early, working 12-hour shifts on rotation. Now, they're not the only ones working long hours. Earlier today, I caught up with an Amazon worker, and she says for almost a month they've been working around the clock for the holidays, and today she was fueling up her car for the early morning shift at 6:30 tomorrow morning at the St. Peter's warehouse, and she's excited, it being the last day tomorrow.
I'm just making sure I'm good to go for work tomorrow. We work close to 60 hours a week, like from early November to this is the last week.
Now, take it from someone who is out here. It is cold. Stay home because you want to avoid this weather. And of course, if you need to go on the roads, make sure you drive safely. But if you can, avoid driving altogether. Reporting in St. Charles, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
Well, the snow and wind have been making for brutal driving conditions in the Metro East tonight.
And of course, we keep talking about those below zero wind chills. That's going to make going outdoors unbearable. Let's get to 5 on your side. Travis Cummings, who's been tracking the extreme conditions in Collinsville. Travis.
Mike, and we've been feeling it all day. We've been in Collinsville crossing near 55 here all afternoon, and I gotta tell you, the drivers are still driving, and they're able to do that smoothly because IDOT crews are out working, but they're reminding you to get out of the way as they push through. And we've been getting warm inside the car every chance we get because as it got darker, it started getting colder. Take a look at our drive up 55 earlier this afternoon. Moving on the interstates have been tricky. IDOT and Collinsville crews have been out working all day. Again, the extreme weather didn't stop people from making their last-minute Christmas stops. We caught up with the man on his way to Springfield, Illinois, all the way from Nashville. He was filling up his wiper fluid and scraping his car as he charged his electrical vehicle.
It's pretty rough. It's hard to drive. You have to drive very slow. You have to be extremely careful, and you have to make sure you have proper tires. Otherwise, you're in danger for your life, or for you're putting other people, people's life in danger as well.
Yeah, just a little while ago, IDOT reminded us that very little of the state is free of snow right now. They say if you're making an evening commute, do that very carefully because as this time goes on, that ice is going to freeze over and things are going to get very slippery for us tonight. We're live in the Metro East. Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
There are places you can go if you need to get out of the cold. There have been some power outages. There are warming centers open right now in the St. Louis area. Text the word warming to 314-425-5355. This is a text-only line.
And the weather first, storm alert continues this evening. Now more about the wind chills and the cold temperatures as we move through the evening hours. We're dropping close to zero around the metro area and just below zero to the north and west of St. Louis. Right now, O'Fallon, Lake St. Louis, Wildwood, Baldwin, as well as Berkeley, even Millstock coming in with 0 as the current temperature. Lambert's at 2. 10 below is the current air temperature up in Des Moines, but it feels like it's 39 below there. These wind chills are no joke. We're talking 25 to 35 degrees below zero, what it feels like. Now, you can still get around in the metro area for sure. As we look down at this hour, you can see that conditions are favorable for travel if you take your time and don't be in a hurry. There are slick spots out there, but the snow is not deep. It's just bitterly cold. You'll need to allow extra time to get wherever you're going. Just don't go fast. Ann?
Thank you, Scott. Now that snow is tapering off, hopefully those road conditions are improving.
And photojournalist Rick Meyer has been driving around all afternoon. And Rick, where are you right now and how are the conditions?
So I'm currently northbound on 270 approaching Manchester Road. I've been on the highways all day. The highways earlier today, they just looked like they were kind of dust covered, and now you can see they're kind of starting to cover up again. Since the sun went down, they're really starting to cover up. And side roads, entrance and exit ramps, they're all very slick. Unless your city has done some special plowing, everything else is really just going to be white. You really got to watch out for tonight with this, like Scott had said, the snow's blowing across in an area where you think it's already been plowed and everything looks fine. All of a sudden it's covered up again because some stuff blew in, and it's going to kind of be that kind of cyclical, the roads are good and then they might be bad, kind of back and forth instead of just they're all fine. This snow's a little different too in that You see there's no windshield wipers going. Everything's so cold that nothing's melting and like coming up on your car. It's just that cold that everything just kind of stays in the ground or blows past you. Reporting from West County, Rick Meyer.
The storm is stranding hundreds of holiday travels at St. Louis Lambert International Airport tonight. So far, there have been more than 116 flights in and out of the airport canceled, including 63 from Southwest Airlines. Nearly 1 in every 3 flights scheduled to arrive at Lambert was canceled today. That's a higher cancellation rate than every other city in the country, except for Chicago and Denver. And another 118 flights were delayed.
If your flight is canceled, you have several options depending on your airline. To learn what to do next, text the word flights to 314-425-5355 and we'll send that information straight to your phone.
A live look now at downtown St. Louis as we head to break. You can barely make out the arch from our Skycam.
Let's take a live look at a very chilly Enterprise Center. In just 2 hours, less than 2 hours, Missouri and Illinois tip off in the bragging rights game.
The City of St. Louis street team has been working hard to keep the streets passable for everyone traveling. And our Laura Barczewski is live outside Enterprise right now. So, Laura, what is the street team's plan for tonight and into tomorrow?
Yeah, Mike and Ann, tonight they just came off a break, so the St. Louis City Streets Commissioner says that they're going to now assess where the streets are at. They said they're worried that the chemicals are obviously going to stop working as it continues to get a lot colder. So they're going to be relying on plowing these areas to keep them passable for all of these drivers that are going to be coming here for the Mizzou, Illinois bragging rights game that's set to start at 8 o'clock. They said these chemicals like salt and brine were working pretty well all day. And when it gets really, really cold, they expect that's really going to stop. So you're going to have to be careful, drive very slow. And at that point, they're going to continue plowing these streets. And they're going to have another crew coming in at midnight. But the Commissioner of Streets says they were able to get enough people out there today, so they didn't have any major issues. But this temperature, this frigid, frigid cold air is their biggest concern.
I think everybody knows we're short-staffed, but what we ended up doing was putting a majority of our people on the current shift. We have a shift coming in at midnight. That's going to be a little smaller shift than we have out there now.
I've seen very few fans coming by. Most of them are running in and out of the stadium to get their tickets, but that bragging rights game is supposed to start at 8 tonight. We expect people to really be showing up by 7 o'clock. So you still have time to put gas in your car, get all your warm clothes, and get out here to Enterprise Center. Reporting live from downtown St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.